got me?
Yep.
All right. Are we beginning?
We're beginning.
All right. This is From the Stands PNW. This is So we shot this yesterday, and we had to redo it once again because we had a technical malfunction. Our quarter midget episode ended up being okay, but our 360 and Hornet National episode ended up being garbage. And so we're reshooting it now. But we have, and maybe it's for a reason.
I think it might be for a reason.
I'm a believer in, the good Lord does certain things at certain times. And today is kind of a solemn day in a local racing community. Hornet driver, sprint car driver, Jason Reed, passed away earlier today in a semi-truck accident, as I gather. He recently was driving the number 215 Paw Patrol Hornet car for the Hornet Nationals, owned by John Johnson. I believe I had the opportunity to meet Jason this weekend, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him much. He pitted next to Austin, who we interviewed a bunch of times, and you will see in this coming up Hornet National and 360 National episode. But at the early age of 30, he ended up passing away in a car accident or a semi-accident on I-5 in Federal Way. Today he was 30 years old. It is devastating news for members of our local racing community. I know Big Sexy Motorsports, had some ties to Jason. The Paw Patrol car ended up in Adam's garage getting repaired over the weekend. There are members of that team that are hurting tonight. So when you get an opportunity, just reach out to those that knew Jason and are struggling right now. And there's quite a few. A little bit that we know about Jason. So Jason started racing quarter midgets back in 2005. He ended up developing the nickname Racing Jason Reed. It looks like, as far as the information that we have, in 2012 he started racing sprint cars. 2014 he gave an interview to a podcast called was it Sean in the Dirt?
Yeah.
And is that podcast episode still out there where people can see it?
Yeah.
Okay. I encourage anybody to go and find that and watch it to get kind of an idea of Jason. Jason finished 8th in the Hornet Nationals this last weekend in the final A main. And everybody is familiar with the 215, the Paw Patrol car. It's iconic at Skagit Speedway. He's going to be missed by a lot of people. From everything that we gathered of information, and this has all happened within the last 2 hours for us to try to gather information and talk about it. Jason was one of those, once again, that was big on helping people. Somebody needed help in the pits. He was there. He was a good guy. By all accounts, one of the best to be down there. People could depend on him. It seems to be a message that echoes, especially in our local racing community, is our local racing community has a lot of really good people. So my condolences go out to his family, his racing team, anybody that has had a chance to come across this young man. Yeah. Which, this kind of leads to my next thing that I want to talk about that I did not get a chance to address yet in last night's version of this. And I'm surprised Stacy didn't bring it up because it was a massive note of mine in my racing book here. But during the invocation before the racing Saturday, do you remember that?
Yes.
So the pastor that was doing the invocation for Skagit Speedway made a comment that he was at a track recently, and there was a track that did not allow him to say the word Jesus. And that he particularly thanks Skagit Speedway for still being a track that could use the word Jesus. I want to get mad. In times like this, when a driver loses his life, and especially when they're young, people look for answers. And depending on who you are and what you believe, people need to be able to refer to and to call upon God to help them through certain periods of time. No matter what name you call God, God is an integral part of the racing community. I can't imagine a race team not based in some sort of religious, not appreciating God, whatever God they pray to. And for a racetrack to prohibit somebody from saying the name, shame on you. And you better hope I don't find out which track that is. Very rarely do I put somebody on blast on purpose. But if I find out which track did that, we're going to be talking a lot about it. You're reminded in times like this, people around Jason and other people that have passed away prematurely, they look at God, need God to help them through it. Help them try to understand what's going on. And for any track in particular to say, you can't do that, shame on you. I'm going to find out which track it is, and it's a burr in my spur. So, okay.
So, this episode dedicated to Jason.
This is dedicated to Jason.
The Hornet race was an amazing race.
One of the best races I've seen for a Hornet at Skagit. Even the 360 A-Main on Saturday night was, I'll preface it right now by saying it was one of the best races I've seen. Okay, so let's go into our cushion report for this episode. So we just got done filming at Skagit Speedway for the 360 and Hornet Nationals. It was the final Fred Brownfield, Bob's Burgers and Brew 360 Nationals. It's the final Fred Brownfield part of that. Kind of a sad day on top of it because Fred Brownfield has been a part of that show for as long as I can remember. And I believe it was his grandson. I don't know if the producer can help me out with that.
I believe so.
Did you just explode a soda?
Yeah. I was opening it really carefully.
So, anyway, we did the launch party on Thursday. I thought it was a great launch party. Wish there were more drivers there, but you guys have seen already. You probably have. We had our interview with Levi. Levi was awesome. I had a prediction at our launch party that if Levi started Saturday in the top 5, he would make a podium. Well, if anybody knows what happened, guess what? But we're going to talk about it anyway. So, launch party was Thursday. Friday was qualifying races for the Hornets and the 360s. Friday saw some controversial parts of the race. And we're going to we're actually going to hear a driver's perspective of some of that controversy. Right? Coming up. You all right? You look confused.
Are we on break?
Not yet.
Okay.
What have I done? Whoa. Wow, she was... So this is why we have problems, is she just immediately starts hitting buttons and doesn't know what the hell's going on. All right, so right away when we got inside the track on Friday. And by the way, this was our first in the pits at Skagit Speedway as From the Stands podcast. And our very first driver interview was with, it ends up being and I say a young man because they're much younger than I. I'm not doing it it's not making fun of anybody. It's, if I'm 20 years older than a driver, I might refer to you as a young man because you are. But we had the privilege and honor of meeting Austin Kerrigan, who drove the AK-47 of AK-47 Motorsports. Anyway, we had no idea what was to come, but here is the first part of 4 parts of talking to Austin. So here's part 1.
Are we going? All right, it is early on in the pit trucking. I don't know what else you really call it, but it is hot, in my opinion. But I have with me Austin. Austin, you drive the
AK-47 Motorsports, AK-47 car.
I love that, by the way. That AK-47 thing is awesome. So, how long have you been racing in this division?
This is actually my first full year of racing in this division. Back in 2011, I ran about 2 or 3 races in one. And then in 2012, I ran 1 race, and then we went into stock car racing when we got the stock car finished.
Okay.
And then I've ran a couple races in other people's cars. This year, my fiance wanted to start racing, so I bought this car. We built her a car, and I just kind of put it together to go out there with her. So this has been, I wasn't really going to run the whole year, but then things happened down at our home track at Grace Harbor, so then I was like, well, I'll stay in the car and run the whole year.
Sure. So we're a podcast. We kind of, I don't know, a lot of pit reporters and stuff get into kind of the technical part of racing and all that. We want to kind of get to know the driver a little bit. So I'm curious, you think about racing, whether it's been in the Hornets or whatever division, do you remember what your early race memory as a kid was?
Oh man, I remember going to my dad didn't take me to racing very much because he used to race back in the day, and every time he would go, he'd want to get back into racing. So we didn't go to the racetrack very much. We'd go watch the World Outlaws at Grace Harbor Raceway a lot, and I liked watching the top guys, the old drivers back then. That was probably the best, going down and sitting in their cars.
Sure. Now, when you are getting ready for a race like tonight, right, all kind of implications over the next 2 days, do you have a routine race day that you get into? Are you a routine guy? You just fly by the seat of your pants? How do you prepare for a race?
Not really. I don't really have a routine. I just kind of get here, make sure we have everything for the car, try to set everything out. So I guess that would be the biggest routine, and then just try to make sure we're as prepared as possible and make sure we didn't forget any race gear at home.
That would be a good one, right? But kind of fly by the seat of your pants kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. With these cars, they're pretty much already all done. So It's not like a modified or a sprint car where you got to make sure everything's perfect. These things, they pretty much stay perfect. So they're, you're not changing a bunch of stuff. They're not as fragile as those cars.
You don't have 94 setups and all the thing that happen, right? I mean, the sprint cars might have.
Yeah, no, there's no adjustments on these things. So it's just tires and wheels and go racing.
So let me ask, with no adjustments, do you have I know you don't do a lot of setups and all that. Does track condition really matter then? I know it does tremendously with the sprint car, but with the Hornet class, does, wet track, all that, does that even matter?
Yeah, so on some really tacky tracks, you got to try to keep your momentum up and not bog the motor down in these classes. So you kind of want to run more in the middle to the top of the track because your tire size keep the RPMs up. You get in a dry slick track, sometimes you might be sliding a little bit more, and this is a momentum game big time in these cars. So if you're sliding and you got your tires turned too much, you're dragging momentum. So I've noticed, because I've raced a lot, that I can slow down and kind of drive the car differently than other people and get the car to be more straight and come off the corners more straight. And then when they're pushing up in the corners, so that's where I gain a lot on the Hornet drivers. So I think the experience from other divisions kind of brings over into these cars. But these cars are you kind of just throw what you know away because they're front wheel drive cars, and they drive 10 times different, and they're just on the verge of out of control the whole time. And it's fun. You're going way slower, but it's a lot of fun.
So out of the gate today, right, for you to be kind of sitting good for tomorrow, what has to go well for you to start the day out today?
Well, we're hoping to probably set fast time, but we need to be able to probably be in the top 4 in fast time so we get the most points. And then that will, I think, fast time, the top fast guys start 6th in the heat race. I think there's going to be probably about 4 heat races. So we want to try to start 6th and hopefully get 1st or 2nd in the heat race. So we're high points going into Saturday, so we make the top 4 for the dash. So the top 4 run a dash, then that stacks the top 4 positions in the main. So we really need to get into that so we can be on the first 2 rows starting the main tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out. I know you guys got a lot going on, so like I said, I'm really grateful you did that. So it's Austin in the AK-47. It's the Hornet Nationals. People tend to forget 369 is also the Hornet Nationals tonight at Skagit Speedway. So night 1's coming up.
Stacy knows when I get it in my ass, it doesn't come out until it's.
Josh, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Are we going?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so we're back. So that was our first interview segment with Austin. We had no idea what was in store. I know people will think, man, that's so staged. How could you, knowing the results? We had no idea. He was just Stacy had got it arranged, and away we went, right?
The funny thing is I did not arrange the interview. I did not arrange that.
Oh, I thought you did.
John reached out to us because he wanted some stickers for his kid.
Oh.
And John wasn't going to be there, but his car was. And Austin and Jason traveled together with whoever else in that Grays Harbor, Elma Hornet drivers.
Austin's got to be hurting tonight,
So,
I think.
Yeah.
And my thoughts and prayers are with Austin right now. It's got to be a pretty tough time.
So it was just to pass on some stickers that resulted in this interview.
So Austin was extremely gracious, probably more than he needed to be, because he probably had no freaking clue who we were, what we were doing, what we were about. But when I told him what we were doing afterwards, and he became a favorite because he thought, well, how dare somebody not like a podcast who's trying to do better for the sport? And so he was super gracious in answering all my questions, no matter how stupid they might have been. And I know some of them with these guys that are super smart when it comes to cars, it's sometimes annoying, but Austin was gracious, and he's forever a favorite of the show. So after the interview, I know we talked about the driver's meeting at Skagit is the same as a driver's meeting everywhere else. It is gather around, yell out whatever information you need people to get. You would think this day and age it would be a little more of a sophisticated process, right? Mm-hmm. But it is not. It doesn't matter if you're a quarter midget racer, you're racing at Deming, you're racing at Skagit, and I don't know how Eldora does it or Knoxville, but I'm assuming it's the same. It is as old school as it gets. The one thing I kind of am curious about is drivers' meetings. You're supposed to be able to penalize drivers for not attending. But my journalistic observation, I didn't see anybody take roll. So how would anybody know if somebody was there or not there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because haven't we heard that across the board? Like, you don't go to a driver's meeting, you could be forced to sit out hot laps or something. So anyway, so once Friday hot lapping began, the track was super gooey, as you heard Austin, or soon you will hear Austin soon talk about. And it looked super mucky, especially for those Hornet guys when they were getting that track kind of packed in and hot lapped around. It looked really sticky. But track packing hot laps was uneventful. Nobody cracked themselves up, which you kind of hope that's the case. I mean, there's nothing worse than you see a car wreck when they're hot lapping.
Yeah.
So anyway, after hot laps, and for hot laps and for Hornets, that's qualifying time. All right? Mm-hmm. They don't give the Hornets their own qualifying time like they do the sprint cars. So our second clip is Austin talking about where he ended up qualifying. So here's that second clip of Austin.
Gone? All right, so we are down back again with Austin. Gosh, quick time, man. That was absolutely incredible. How'd it feel?
Oh, it felt pretty good. It was a little slimy and hooked up at the beginning. The first couple laps we ran, it was really killing the car. And the last lap, I just kind of flat-footed it and drove it in there a little bit sideways to get a little bit more momentum, let the tires spin a little bit in the grease, and that's where I was able to get the quick time.
But it looks like so far all plans are falling in place, right? Quick time out there. That was step one. So what is coming up next that you're going to need to hit before to keep this train going?
Yeah, so that we're on a points format tonight. So I think quick time got, I forgot, I think it's like 200 points, and it went down from there. And then you get, I think, 100 points if you win the heat race. So if I can finish in the top 3 spots in the heat race, that'll keep me up in high points. And then we got to just finish up in the front of the main too. So we're trying to get high points. So we're just trying to get the best finish possible in the heat race and in the main to be able to finish the high points car for tomorrow.
And I'll tell you right now, watching Austin out on the track, he is the driver to beat right now. So plus the car looks super clean when you're out there. It's impressive because you see it here, but out on the track, it just has a whole different attitude, which I love. So anyway, Austin.
Okay.
Are we rolling?
You're rolling.
All right, so that was our interview that we had with Austin. Austin, if you talked about being quick time, or maybe I talked about it, I can't remember now, but being quick time after qualifying, everything was falling in place for Austin for Saturday, very much so. Wow, that was weird. I don't know what Stacy's doing right now, but
Your TikTok up.
I think so. We were at a different track position at Skagit, and I think I talked about this. The track perspective we had was pretty good because we could see everything in front of us. I didn't have to do this to watch the track. Usually, when you do this, you're missing this over here. So I love that part. Section G's got it going on at Skagit Speedway. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
What'd you think of different perspective?
I liked the idea that the sun was not in our eyes. We were kind of sitting more on the edge
Yeah.
of the end of the track. I definitely like sitting where the corner 3 and 4 are right in front of you because obviously we've learned that's action-packed corners.
So when you get into the pit, like the pit side of the grassy area, you are, with the 360s, you are pelted.
Yes.
You have to move up to a certain point in the grass or get into the stands because the tire spin coming through 3 into 4 is like little BBs being shot at you constantly.
That is how it is.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it's just not wanting to load.
Oh.
That is how it is when you take photos coming out of corner 2 at Deming, where they enter. You're pelted with that.
Yeah.
I wear them all night long.
I don't mind it. The little red marks are a badge of courage, in my opinion.
And then that's the same with when you stand at Skagit behind the fence when they're exiting corner 2 is the same when I stood
On the backstretch?
on the backstretch.
You were getting pelted on the backstretch? Really?
Because when they come around, they slide around that corner 2.
Sorry, I'm mimicking you're doing this and then you went.
That was my double check that it was still on.
Okay.
So
let me ask you, it was your first parlay into the pits at Skagit Speedway. What was your takeaway from that first experience?
they are huge.
You can fit 15 Deming pits into one Skagit Speedway pit area.
Definitely bigger pits. Obviously, there's a lot going on back there. You know, it's not the little trailers that you have at Deming. It's semi trucks parked in there. And they are in there stacked on top of each other.
It's a lot
There's
of...
not a lot of room in between. Watching, I want to say when we were talking to Robbie and getting that interview going, Trey was pulling in, and it was like, are you going to scrape trailers? And
No, they're professional truck drivers. They know what the heck they're doing. So, this is a message for all the 360 drivers. You guys need to step up your mean game. You guys are too nice to each other. It freaked me out. Mean. M-E-A-N.
Yeah.
You know that?
yeah.
You look at me like I'm insane by
No,
saying that.
I don't know why this isn't.
So, I was expecting, especially for like the 360 Nationals, right? I was expecting drivers like Trey to be, I'm going to eat you alive. Like,
It's a big community.
I'm going to murder you. Like, no. The amount of sweet gestures I saw amongst drivers, there were some tender moments, and I'm not exaggerating. I was dumbfounded because, you know, this is arguably the biggest 360 race for Skagit Speedway in the year, right?
Yeah.
I was expecting, there's 26 grand on the line. Nope. Everybody was super great. But that also tells you the type of integrity these people have, right?
A lot of integrity.
Trey Starks is at the top of his game. Everybody loves Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody might be afraid to say anything bad about Trey, but, you know, it seemed that everybody loves Trey. Everybody loved Robbie. Everybody loves Levi. You know, it was a lot of sweetness I wasn't anticipating. We did have some excitement happening during the kind of break in hot laps for the 360s. The party bus was taking too long to get down into the pits. Some crews were becoming frustrated, being stuck behind the party bus. That was exciting. I made note of it in... Yeah?
It's nothing. Just keep going.
You want to lock into what we're doing over here? Or? Yeah, there we go. Did you get me banned? Is that why?
No, it won't even load.
Okay. So after hot laps qualifying, quick time was the 2X. Justin Sanders was also a favorite throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
Raced really well. Everybody loved. They had teammates, right? There were two cars.
Yeah, there was like a 2MX and a 2XM.
But quick lap was 11:207, which is pretty quick. So turn 3 had a bit of a hole in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, last time we did all this, we had problems. So every time you make a weird face, I freak out because I don't want to do this again. Now, I talked about this the first go around, and I'm going to talk about it again. There is a huge difference with drivers and driver suits, I noticed. You have some that look like they've been wearing these for 15 years. They're beat to crap. And some, like Levi's suit, was very well tailored, very brand new. And I know as a kid when I would come to school kind of the first couple weeks, right? And you would have kind of the cheapy, you know, the jeans that looked like Levi's, but they weren't quite Levi's. I always felt a little jealous of the actual Levi wearers. I always wonder if there was a little bit of a hierarchy with driver suits. Like, if you have a crappier driver suit and you're standing next to 5 guys that are well tailored, they're colorful, got patches all over them, and yours is 10 sizes too big, do you just go, gosh, I wish I was in one of those?
Of course, but I don't know if we're necessarily seeing that much difference amongst the 360s.
In driver suits? Oh, I did. I saw a big difference in suits. Well, I guess that, and let me go back. I guess I shouldn't tell a falsehood. I don't know if they were actually Hornet drivers compared to sprint car drivers, to be honest with you.
That's probably.
But a driver suit's a driver suit, right?
Yes, and I don't mean to say anything that's going to offend a Hornet driver, but look around their camps. It's a little different setups.
Dude, that is grassroots racing. That is grassroots. That is tools in a milk crate. Grassroots.
Open trailers. Enclosed trailers.
Yeah.
Fancy paint schemes. Rattle cans.
So it was great seeing the number 92 Fred Brownfield car painted up in the good old Fred Brownfield looking, I guess, paint scheme. Is that?
Yeah.
Livery? What do we call it? What do we do it in sprint car world?
I don't know.
Okay, so Fred Brownfield, number 92, that was great to see. Sad to see it's the last Fred Brownfield 360 Nationals. And, of course,
Can we talk about that for a second, though?
Yes.
Have we really figured out why?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm working on it. And right now there's about 4 people that cringed at me saying that.
Yeah, I'm one of them, too. I asked the question.
No, you asked the question. Like you ask the question. If I answer you, you can't cringe at me. You have to be, thank you for answering my question because I asked it. So Chris Bullock had his number 17, yellow number 17. Mm-hmm. Great looking car. That was his last, as I understand it, that was his last foray into that 360 was this weekend. And you can kind of tell he was trying to keep it off the wall. Mm-hmm. Like when they were like heats and stuff, he was way back trying not to smash the car up, which I get, especially if you might be selling it later on, that kind of thing. So, and then of course, the Brownfield car got a little beat up in the heat races. Speed Week was weird because they staged during the heat races on night 1. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
On Friday night. They staged the heat races. That seemed to drag it out a little bit. People were kind of grumbling a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Definitely was a slower going.
Yeah. But I think one of the top cars going into it was Robbie Price in the number 21. We actually got a chance to talk to Robbie. And here is the interview that I had with the number 21, Robbie Price of the 360 sprint car class.
All right, so we are, look who I have next to me. If anybody saw the latest episode of the podcast, this gentleman here was a focus of our top 5 coming into this weekend. And it would be interesting, Robbie, for you to see that I refer to you a specific way. I think you'd get a kick out of it if you see the episode.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it there.
I'll have to check it out.
So with me is Robbie Price. You guys probably recognize him. If not, you would definitely recognize his car. So why don't you tell the folks at home what you're driving this weekend, maybe who your main sponsors are.
Okay, so I'm driving a Maxim Shark-powered 360 this weekend. It's owned by Robin Lee Layton. We're sponsored by Shark Racing Engines, Grinders Automotive, Cow Creek Mining, Malhat Auto Wrecking, Saratoga Motorsports Park. It's a brand new car for this weekend, so
wow.
We'll see how it goes. Breaking her in tonight.
Oh, that's awesome, though. All I have to say to lead up to you seeing that episode, just remember the phrase quiet confidence. And
Sounds
that'll
good.
explain everything.
Sounds good.
And I know right now he's thinking, I don't know these people, and this is super weird, but this is the fun part of doing this job. So I have some questions, and I have some fan questions that they're curious. But let's start out. When you were younger, do you have a first racetrack memory? Like, not as a driver, just as a fan. Do you have a memory that you...
So I grew up on Vancouver Island,
Okay.
British Columbia. So I remember being knee-high, falling asleep in the stands at Western Speedway, watching my dad race.
Sure.
I come from a racing background, like my family raced and everything like that. So I've been around it as long as I can remember, and I don't really remember anything else different. So, yeah, no, I remember passing out in the bleachers and asking my dad when we got home how he did because I fell asleep.
Sure. Now, outside of your dad, obviously he's been a huge influence in your racing career. Is there somebody else that has helped influence your
Yeah,
career
no,
up to
for
this
sure.
point?
There's been a handful of people. Mark and Debbie Houston, obviously, I'm from out of state type deal or out of country, really. So
Mhm.
they always helped me out. And, I crashed at their place for a long time and
Oh, that's
kept my
awesome.
race car at their shop for a long time and got in his way a bunch. So, they've helped me out a bunch. My dad obviously helped me out a ton, supporting me for a long time, especially when I was first getting going. And then, obviously, with the addition of the Leighton family helping me out now, it's been they've been very important people for me. All of them have. So it's landed me where I'm at now.
That's awesome. I love that. Community, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
really
yeah,
helps you
exactly.
get going. Now, there's lots, I mean, you're a super exceptional sprint car driver. You've had probably lots of lessons behind the wheel over the years, right? Is there any lesson that you take as a driver that helps you in your regular life?
I'm sure there is. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you have to learn the hard way in the racing deal, and I think that's a good life lesson too. It usually doesn't stick with you unless you learn how to do it the hard way. So, doing stuff wrong is the best way to learn, I feel. So, there's lots of stuff I've messed up here and learned the hard way, and there's same thing in the day-to-day life.
Unfortunately, your best lessons are usually the hardest, right?
That's right.
Now, we're a fan-based podcast. Do you have a favorite fan interaction that you can ever remember that sticks out in your mind?
No, not necessarily. It's probably the reoccurring fans. For a long time I traveled all over the country racing, so we'd show up somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and I would run into somebody that, they said, "Oh, do you remember me?" And it'd take me a little bit for it to click in, and then, eventually I would. But it's the reoccurring people that, not every day that it's just another interaction for you as a driver with a group of people, but you don't realize how long of a lasting impression it makes with people.
It is huge, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I know you guys see so many people and so many tracks, but there's a lot of us fans that really get impacted by, our interactions with drivers. It's big.
It doesn't take long to make a lasting impression.
No. So, as far as competing goes, who's your toughest competitor on the track? Like the one guy is going to give you a run for your money every time.
Anybody that really around here that's in the top 5 every week. There's a lot of good talent around here. You learn how to race each person. You know how each person races. So they're all challenging in their own aspect. Obviously, there's one guy that kicks our butt every weekend. So that'll obviously be Trey. That'll be
Right.
that'll probably be the standard answer throughout the pit. But to be honest with you, for a long time when Trey wasn't here, when I first started racing here, Colton Heath, he's very good.
He's also a fan favorite, too.
Very talented individual. I remember I ran second to him a ton, and so same with Sowald. He's had a million laps around this place, and he could probably do it with his eyes closed. So, Colton, Trey, Sowald, they're all super tough here, super hard to beat, and it's not even how fast they are, it's how smart they are behind the wheel, and you think they're going one way, and they know what you're thinking, and then they're there. So, yeah, no, there's a handful of people here that are really tough to beat on a week-to-week basis.
Sure. So this is kind of one of our... So I went live prepping for this interview, and we had some fan questions. And one of the fan questions was, if you had the opportunity to race in any era, it could be from the dawn of the wheel being created to right now. Is there a specific era that you would love to go race in?
Probably the early 2000s, I'd say.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, probably the early 2000s. That's just from the stories I've heard and everything like that. It's just been seems like it was kind of before sprint car racing got super commercialized, I feel like. So it was still It's not saying that it's bad now, but it's just a different time. So I would say probably the early 2000s.
So is there a racetrack that is kind of on your bucket list? If you had anywhere in the world to run that you would love to race on, what would that be?
I would like to go to Australia. I've never been there.
That's a good one, yeah.
I've been to so many tracks across the U.S. It's ridiculous. So, there's not a ton there that I watch now, and they'll go to some different places that intrigue me a little bit, look interesting to go to. But Lernerville, I always wanted to go to Lernerville, and I never made it there. So, but besides that, I've done a lot of racing, so I've knocked a lot off the bucket list.
I can imagine, yeah, and I kind of realize that, look who I'm talking to, right?
Yeah.
So, now I'm curious, 2 more questions, and then I'll get out of your hair. How do you feel about the 16-car invert?
I don't know. I mean, if it
seems, as a fan, it seems kind of brutal.
It is. It's cutthroat, but they say the cream rises to the top, so we'll just see. We'll see how good we are. We haven't been that great lately, so it is what it is. I mean, it's the same for everybody.
Sure.
So it is what it is. Do I love it? Probably not. Ask me at the end of the night, I guess.
I could say, though, initially it's a common answer.
Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I love it? Probably not. Is it out of my power? Yeah. So we just take it as it comes.
What for tonight's race to be putting yourself in a good position tomorrow? What's got to go right out the gate tonight?
Qualifying, yeah.
Okay.
Qualifying, yeah. You just got to qualify good, and then hope that you don't have a super stacked heat race. And if you do, you just got to make sure that you're dialed in. So that's with these big races and the formats like that, it just makes the window so much smaller on how close you got to be. So that's the downside of it. But at the same time, it's an upside for the fans where they get to see some good racing that they don't get
action
to see.
packed.
Yeah, exactly. It's more cutthroat, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Is to where it's not necessarily as brutal on a week-to-week basis because just the lack of car count, not lack of car count, but such a larger field, and the more cars and more good people show up, the bigger and bigger the talent pool gets for the top 10.
Sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out. We wish you luck. Number 21, Robbie Price, going to look to make some moves early, so there you go.
Thank you guys for having me.
Okay.
All right, so that was our interview with Robbie. Now, I take a little pride in this. Robbie is a serious race car driver.
Which he should be.
He is in my knighthood of Quiet Confidence. I have a Knights of a Round Table of the Quiet Confidence. He is one of my knights on the Quiet Confidence Knights of the Round Table. I got him to smile, though. And I don't know if it's because he just likes to smile or he smiled at one of my questions, but he did smile during the interview, if you noticed that.
Definitely.
He looked away, but he smiled. I think he smiled twice, actually. We had no idea that Robbie was going to have a difficult time. There was a wild... Well, we're going to get to that here in a few. But I really appreciate Robbie taking the time to let me talk to him. I know he didn't have to do that. I know it was super weird that these two people out of nowhere are going to ask you a bunch of questions, do it on camera, and they're going to pretend like they know what they're doing.
Make it till you can make it.
Pretend like you're interested. Yeah, so I appreciate Robbie. It means more than you think. So let's talk about the end of the evening on Friday.
On Friday?
Both races fell under some controversy.
Yes.
Let's start with the Austin controversy first.
Okay.
Austin was, because of the invert, from 1 to 12. And he ended up in the back of the A main.
Yeah.
All the way in the back. Can't remember how many cars were in that race, but we were biting our nails because we had talked to him twice that day, and we knew we were talking to him the next day, at least once, and we kind of are rooting for Austin. And when he was in the back of the field, and then out of nowhere, I messaged Stacy, because you were away, weren't you, or were you next to me?
I was next to you for Friday.
So I asked,
Saturday,
I said,
on the other
where
side.
is Austin's car? And she was looking for White Lightning. That's what I affectionately call Austin's car, White Lightning, the AK-47. And she's like, oh, crap, he's not there.
It was during a yellow.
And all of a sudden, the back wall opened. And out of the work area for the Hornets comes the White Lightning galloping back onto the track.
Is that really how that car handled? That smooth?
Yeah, it was White
I
Lightning.
think Austin could tell us differently.
So Austin battled. He battled. Made his way up. He was gaining a spot roughly every 1.5 laps was my calculation. And after lap 12, he was up to 6th place. And then something happened. What happened?
Timed out.
They went green, white, checkered, 8 laps short. So I asked Austin on Saturday, but we're going to play it for the Friday because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I asked Austin about ending the main early and how he kind of got cheated, and this was his response to that question.
All right, so it is day 2. We are back with Austin. So before we get into kind of what happened in the main last night, starting second in points, pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be excited about that.
Yeah, we were 1 point out of first. I was hoping for a better finish in the main last night, but yeah, we were just hoping for a top 4, so we were in the scramble. We didn't have to run a qualifier.
So it seemed, the A-main seemed a little weird. Like some odd things happened. You'd probably agree with that, right?
Yeah. How they have their format is if you're the top in points, you start 12th in the field, and so we try to work our way up.
Which you
through
did.
I started 12th, and then going into the main, I was the top in points, and going up through, it seemed like every time I'd pass a car, I'd get ran into, and I passed another one and got a flat tire.
So that's why you disappeared and went into the work area to get that changed out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we swapped tire, and the tire wasn't the right one that for this track. We usually put that on at Elma, but we don't have as much banking in Elma, so it works there.
Okay.
We have too much banking here, so it didn't work as good, and it kind of upset the car. But we were still going forward, but we couldn't get more than 1 or 2 laps in before another yellow would come out.
Yeah, but by the time they called it, you'd worked your way up to 6th, right?
Yes. Yeah, 12 laps, and it was supposed to be a 20-lap feature. So pretty sure in a lap or 2 we could have probably got to 4th place pretty easy.
I was
don't know
counting
about the
them.
top 3.
It was about a lap and a half you were gaining a position. So if we would have continued with that 8, I think you would have been battling the battle wagon for top spot.
Yeah, I was really hoping, but at least we got back up to 6 to be able to get the most out of our points.
Okay, so going forward now tonight, you're in a dash, right?
Yeah, the qualifier.
Qualifier,
Yep.
sorry. I want to use the right terminology. I know I'm going to get hammered
Or
for
no,
that
I'm
one.
not in a qualifier. I am in the dash.
In the dash, okay.
Yep.
So I got it right the first time. And that's going to then set up the first 2 rows for tonight.
Yeah,
For the main.
The first 2 rows, the top 4. Yep. How they finish, I don't know if it's 4 or 6 laps. How that finishes is how the first 2 rows line up.
How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I get to start on the outside.
Okay.
Kind of want to be on the outside. I'm hoping I get a little bit better jump than the inside car. The track's been really, really. You want to pause?
No, it's okay.
All right.
That's all right.
The track's been really, really swampy, really tacky, wet on the bottom yesterday. So we were having a really hard time moving forward. So I'm really hoping that we can move forward on the top tonight and be in the dry.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, watching you drive yesterday, I have no doubt this thing is gonna, it's gonna stick to the front of the pack pretty easily. We're looking forward to it. So hopefully we'll be able to have a celebration later and ask how it's like to win the Hornet Nationals at Skagit. So good luck tonight. We're going to be rooting for you. So there you go. There's Austin in the AK-47.
Yep.
All right, so that was Austin. He talked about ending it. Was not happy with it, but the car was kind of struggling a little bit. But by the end of the night, Austin was in second spot going into Saturday, so he was in a good place, even though the main didn't quite end the way he wanted it to, right?
Yeah, with his points, he was getting into the dash.
He was. And that was where he wanted to be. Anywhere within that, he was on his target. So he was in good shape. So let's talk about the A main of the 360. That got a little funky.
It
A little
did.
funky.
I don't know how many cars that we wrecked out at corner 3.
Yeah. So there was a lot of cars. I think they call it porpoising, doing a little wheel hop coming through 3. There was a definite hole somewhere in there. So I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like how this whole 360 thing played out. Like, it was weird having the two sanctioning bodies, like the Hornets, where Skagit was in charge of that. The Speed Week people, what is the organization again? I know I keep asking you that. Sprint Car Challenge Tour.
SCCT.
So they were in charge of the 360 show, right? Isn't that correct?
Yes.
So halfway through the A main, the number 29 car got busted up, right? And that was the younger driver that was supposed to be at Thursday's kickoff party.
Yeah, Cole.
But he had a little bit of a problem, I think, in California, right?
Oregon, whatever the last Coos Bay.
Oh, okay.
If I look at your shirt, Cottage Grove, Coos Bay, one of those.
Yeah. So he was the first kind of casualty of the 360 A main. And then there was a massive 4-car pileup. Robbie got the worst of it, destroyed his car, didn't think he was going to make it back. I mean, from a fan's perspective, the car looked destroyed.
Yeah, I don't know how much sleep they got that night.
Yeah. Trey Starks was involved in that. Levi Hillier was involved in that. Cam Smith was involved in that. And Cam got knocked around pretty good in that accident as well. Do they call it an accident? I know on the freeway it'd be an accident, but
It was just bumping and
yeah,
grinding.
it was a lot of rubbing. And rubbing, son, is racing. That's the Days of Thunder.
Okay.
You think I just made that up just randomly?
Yeah.
Okay. So not sure Robbie was going to make it back. Cam, I think everybody got repaired out, right? But there was an issue with a car that race.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about it? Because you clipped the YouTube video, right?
I did.
So set the scene for everybody at home.
Let me pull up my phone, my photos. So
Let's put it this way. So there was it was one of the teammates,
It
right?
was the 2X.
Justin Sanders' car. Wasn't it Justin's car?
It was actually, let me zoom in. No, it was, yes, it was.
She's producing the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it was Justin's car. It was 12 laps to go when this happened. And he got into the corner with Levi?
I can't remember. I just remember the fracas that erupted in the work area.
So he went into the work area, and this is where I feel like rules change, or maybe between tracks or between different races
Could be.
have different rules. And so he was in the work area, and supposedly once the track is cleared, you have 2 minutes when they drop you down, usually.
Yeah, because you get dropped the minute they unhook you, your timer starts.
And so there was a lot of work to do on that car.
But they got it done, I think, right?
They were getting it pushed forward. The crews, and I'm watching this right now, the crews are pushing it forward, but they're still working under the back wing. So they're in between the back tires. And the officials have the push truck back there, and they're like, okay, well, let's clear. Let's go.
Somebody was in a race suit being animated, push it off. And the official called it and said, nope.
Yep.
Right?
The lights went out, and that team was very animated from the drone coverage. And,
Yeah.
they didn't make it back. But I felt like they completely changed the wings, changed tires. Who knows what else they did.
They did a lot of work in a very short period of time, and
Yes.
that's some admirable work. But that just tells you what kind of crews these guys have, right?
Yeah.
Or gals have. So, but there was another weird thing that happened. There were so many yellow flags, red flags, so many stoppages. The cars were running on that track for so long that with 2 laps remaining, 28 laps in, they didn't open red because the cars needed fuel. Because apparently we learned that there's a hard rule that 70 laps, regardless of
Where they're at.
yellow flags or whatever, 70 laps was the cutoff for fuel of those cars. And at lap 28, they hit that 70 mark and they threw the red and ended up having an open red with 2 laps to go, which I don't recall these happening very often, but an open red with 2 laps to go just for fuel
It seems so weird.
was weird. As a fan, I've never seen that before. I hope I never see it again because I don't know. It just seemed, I don't know. I'm going to keep my opinion to myself, I guess. Now, it would be tough, right, because Levi was out on the track, and I know Mr. Rudine was at the track. He's the big boss around Skagit Speedway. How nerve-wracking would it be? Like, imagine being 16. You're in a race car that costs about $150,000, right, on a team that anybody would give their right arm to be on. And the big boss pokes his head in to give you words of encouragement with 2 laps to go. Would it be it would be nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking enough. Just the idea of getting in a quarter midget is nerve-wracking for me, let alone being Levi's spot, right?
Yes.
And then the boss sticks his head in with 2 laps to go. Would love to know what he said. I don't know if we ever will, but yeah.
Well, and the thing is I am not exactly sure. Levi was not necessarily driving cautiously.
No, he was letting his hair down a little bit behind that wheel. And with 2 laps to go, Solwald was running number 2. And throughout the entire race, Solwald didn't look like he was gaining on the number 1 guy at all. So we thought the race essentially was over.
Yeah, once it went to that open red,
We were
started
packing
walking
our
down
stuff up. I was limping my big old butt
We were going down towards
at the
pits.
fence, and then we turn around and we see 18 crossing the finish line first, and was like, how in the heck did that happen? But that is why Solwald is a legend at Skagit Speedway. Big races, he seems to step up, and he did that last night and ended up winning the 360 A main, right? In dramatic fashion. So congratulations to him. And that concluded our Friday
night.
evening. And so when we come back, we're going to start talking about Saturday.
Of you time. Wait, the Jason Reed.
If today was your last day, and tomorrow was too late, could you say goodbye yesterday? Would you live each moment like your last? Leave old pictures in the past. Donate every night you had. If today was your last day.
All right, so Saturday was championship night, 360 Nationals, Hornet Nationals. I interviewed Austin early on. We talked about his position. You saw that in the last segment.
Can we talk about something before?
Yes.
Make sure that if you're watching this episode but skip the quarter midget bonus episode, go back to watch the quarter midget bonus episode.
It's a great episode.
So we spent the morning up at
The morning and most of the afternoon.
So it was about 3 o'clock when we got down to the pits for the big race.
We had to leave because we had kind of a scheduling conflict, right?
Yeah, we were trying to get some interviews and stuff done before things kind of got crazy down there.
Yeah.
So definitely go to see what we did in the morning with the quarter midgets. And if you're at a track that it doesn't have to be Skagit, just any track, if they run their quarter midgets in the morning before a big race,
Go watch them. Quarter midgets are as entertaining as any race I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it zaps your energy just as much as anything else, because by the time we got to Skagit, I was done. All my like creative juices and everything went into the quarter midget stuff, and we good?
Mm-hmm.
And I was wrecked and we still had the entire day to go.
Yeah.
Saturday was strange to me, though. It was a little weird. The vibe was unusual.
That's what I was going to say. I would say it's more the vibe, especially being down in the pit area. It was a different vibe. Championship Saturday there versus Championship Saturday at Clay Cup.
Way different. Like Championship Saturday at Clay Cup, you felt the tension.
Mm-hmm.
The drive, you could feel that there was
a lot going on in cars and working in cars.
Yeah.
And I guess most people load out at Skagit. There wasn't a lot of.
Wow, you even got the terminology right. Load out.
That's how we do it with sheep. You load out of the fair.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
So it was.
It's creepy.
The idea that most people hauled out, load out.
God, you did it again.
On Friday night, they were probably working in a Walmart parking lot or a hotel parking lot on their car all night.
Yeah.
Whereas up at Deming.
Do you think Skagit has a rule about that?
No.
Would it make more sense to work on it there? Or do you prefer solid ground underneath you and not rocks?
I would think that's the why.
Okay.
Whereas Deming, everybody just stayed. Everybody worked overnight on the
I
vehicles.
think the next sprint car driver I interview, I'm going to ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to choose, would you load out, haul out? Oof, I did it myself. I'm impressed. To like a Walmart parking lot or the Cook Road shell,
yeah.
Right? And being there to work on the car rather than at the pits in Skagit? Like, I'm curious. Inquiring minds want to know.
I would 100% think so. Those rocks are not small little rocks. It's not smooth surfaces to be.
Yeah.
And some of those cars needed complete.
Oh, there was
rehaul.
Yeah, I mean they were stripped down to block and frame. Some of them,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some of them were even Saturday putting new vinyl.
We
Shout
got
out
this.
to Justin Youngquist.
Justin
for helping.
Youngquist was putting vinyl on a car.
You got to do what you got to do to help people out, and
Yeah.
so there was people racing with plain wings on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or plain bodies, rebuilt that pink car from the 7 Stanley.
Yeah. And
That was completely wrecked.
we got a complete so Saturday with its own weird vibe, right? Mm-hmm. So the races started later than they did Friday because obviously there was a lot more to do. But when we looked around at like 6:15, I think opening ceremonies was 7.
Yeah.
45 minutes to go, the stands looked as packed as a normal weekly show. And I was shocked about that. Because Dirt Cup was completely different. Like, it was a ton of people.
People were lined
right
up
away.
to get in at 5 o'clock.
And it did increase. Kudos to Skagit for getting that done. The crowd did get bigger. But at 6:15, it did seem pretty light for.
And Friday was so light. We didn't touch on that.
It was scary. Like, it looked like a normal weekly show crowd, which for a 360 show with 50 cars, you would think is a bigger deal than that. But Saturday did fill out quite a bit. The last rig in Saturday was
Robbie Price.
Robbie Price made it back.
Not everybody made it back.
He had a brand new car, wrecked it, got back, looked great. and was strong on the track for Saturday's events, mains in particular. Now, the C main Saturday and the battle for 4th and 5th was the most entertaining 4th and 5th battle I think I've seen. I mean, I was locked in on 4th and 5th for the C main.
Because
and that was the C main.
That determines who moves on.
Top 4 move on to the B. So that was the transfer spot, right?
Yeah.
So it was definitely the best racing in Alger, hands down at that moment.
The only racing in Alger at that moment.
That's why it was the best. And I wrote that down. I just want to make that clear. There were 45 360s for night 2. 45. I think there was 49 for Friday. So 3 did not return. Chalk on the backstretch. Did you notice that? There was a restart where they chalked the backstretch.
Yes. Well, no, that was the...
No, they chalked the backstretch. I wrote it down. It's right here. It was weird. Weird.
That's what they do with the pole shuffle.
And the pull shuffle, I don't even want to get started on that. That was brutal. Levi ended up on top in the pole shuffle.
Yes.
He ended up starting on the pole for the main event. He was poised to win this whole thing.
He was.
He had the world by that.
Okay. We're going to go with that.
B main didn't have as much in the way of cracking up. The number 51 hit the back wall, I think lap 6-ish. Other than that, which, didn't get anything out, like it was just a yellow. Everybody stayed intact for the most part. There was a hard luck award, which I think we got to come up with a better name.
Yes.
Hard luck is like, you had the worst luck, sorry. But the Bud Ash family gave out $2,300 to the number 321, driven by Parker. Mm-hmm. Parker's an up-and-coming...
She just turned 16.
She's an up-and-coming star in the race car 360 world right now. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, she's over with... down
Did you
in...
see a ghost?
No, I was looking at your shirt. She was over... kind of lives near Tanner Homes down in that southern Oregon, and kind of has him as a role model.
Good role model.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the top drivers in high limits here. I want to ask Les Schwab, though. You don't make sprint car tires, but you gave a right rear or a left rear to Parker. How does that work?
Yeah.
That just seemed weird.
It did seem weird.
Yeah. 19 Hornet cars for night, the championship race. Mm-hmm. 19. And
that's almost all of them.
Yeah. Who started on the pole?
Austin
Managed to be on the pole. Hornet Nationals have been going since 2005. So it had been what? Yeah.
Nothing. I'm going to keep going.
What happened?
Nothing. Keep going.
Oh, you made a face and getting up.
Keep going.
Okay, so, yeah. So, most exciting race, though. I think Austin being on the pole, but there were battles, just left and right everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin was kind of struggling, I think, a little bit. The car was kind of falling out from underneath him. Would you agree?
I would agree with that.
Would he agree with that?
Yeah, he said it was definitely getting harder to drive.
Yeah, but managed to hold on. I'm really curious, dude. I am really curious.
Just keep going.
Managed to hold on and managed to win the 2026 360 Nationals, the 2026 Hornet Nationals in the AK-47, I affectionately name it White Lightning. Austin Kerrigan, and here's what Austin had to say about winning the championship. Got it?
All right, so we're back with Austin. He is the 2026 Hornet National champion. That sounds awesome. You got to be super stoked right now.
Yeah, I am. That was pretty fun.
So let's go over the main, because there was a lot of action there. Lap traffic, yellows at like the worst time, right? And you still managed to hold on.
Yeah. We were having a little problems with the car after the dash. We won the dash and set us on the pole, but we were having a little bit of blow-by out of the motor, and we were just hoping it would make it through. And I knew Nick was starting on the outside, and his car's really fast.
Really fast, yeah.
And we took the green there, and man, I really thought I had him. And about half a lap later, to a lap, he just took off, and I was like, "Oh man, the chase was on." And we started getting to lap traffic, and I knew that was the only time I was going to be able to get him. And I finally got him to mess up a little bit.
Happened at the right time, right?
Yep,
I mean, it's a win of destiny, I would think. I mean, because we talked about when this was just an idea, and every little step you took, and it was fun to watch. Dude.
Yeah, it paid off. Yeah, that yellow came out, the red, and I didn't want to shut the car off because I didn't know if it would restart, and I knew the car was burning oil. And
are you white knuckling it though? I mean, when you only got a couple laps left, the car's struggling, you got a car that is super fast behind you. It's got to concern you a little bit.
Oh yeah, I think the last about lap or 2 laps, it felt like it was losing power too. So I knew he was right there. There's no way he wasn't right there. I know he was on my bumper, and I just knew it was going to be really hard to pass with the line I was running. I definitely didn't dominate it by no means. I know he was knocking on my door the whole time.
I'll tell you right now, it was probably the most exciting Hornet race that I could remember watching. It was a pleasure to watch you run. So
thank you.
Congratulations. The 2026 Hornet National Champion, Austin. That is awesome.
All right, so I promise you I had no idea that Austin was going to win the Hornet Nationals. We surely had no idea when we talked to him for part 1 of 4 that Friday early afternoon. Was it early afternoon? Yeah. Had no idea. Never interviewed a champion before. Have you?
At that level, no.
So, yeah, it was super awesome. And I appreciate Austin giving me the time, sharing insights, talking to us. It was super fun. I like it when people talk to us. Do you like it when people talk to us?
I do like it when people talk to us.
All right, so let's get into the 360A main. Levi was on the pole.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, I love Skagit Speedway. I don't know what that intro video was, but we got to rethink that.
Is it Skagit or is it the Sprint Car Challenge Tours video?
I don't know. That is a great question. I have no freaking idea, but we got to rethink. We got to rethink that a little bit. A little bit. Are we sure everything's been in focus?
Yes.
Okay, you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't want to do this shit again. I said shit on the thing, but I can because it's late. So, 360A main. So, the LED light thing. Had no idea Skagit possessed that ability. Freaked me out.
Starters from Maple Ridge, British Columbia, it's the 20K of Kai Dixon. Your 23rd starter from Carnation, Washington, it's the 29K of Levi Coons. Outside of row number 11 from Colfax, California, welcoming 29, Cole Croft. And to the inside from Marysville, Washington, we'll welcome in the 33 behind him, it's Colton Heath. Starting in the 20th position from Rioso, California, the 21L, it's Landon Brooks. position, number 70, number 19. Driving the 77 car from Langley, British Columbia, Levi Clark. Starting outside, row number 9, all the way from El Cajon, California, it's the 73B of Braden Chiramonte. And to his inside, from Mesa, Arizona, 26R Corbin Ruschenberg. Starting in the 16th position out of El Paso, Texas, driving car number 8, Aiden Saunders. And your 15th starter from Mount Vernon, Washington, it's the 59 of Eric Fisher. Starting from position number 14, out of Snohomish, Washington, the 91 is Chase Gett.
Mine's all fucked up.
Possessed that ability. Freaked me out because I thought they didn't pay their power bill.
It went dark.
It went dark. And then they got flashy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was no, you know what? There was no warning for epilepsy.
There was not.
On that. And
There was
I
no
think-
warning the lights were going out to begin with.
I think they should have a warning
I agree.
in case. They do it for video games.
Mm-hmm.
So 360, I mean, though, the race was action-packed. It was one of the best sprint car races I've seen this year. Now, Levi is an up-and-comer. Okay? He is going places. I think nobody would be shocked if he made it to the NASCAR series. Kind of followed in Casey Kane, Kyle Larson's footsteps. Hit NASCAR, became a star, came back, still did dirt track racing. But God was on Levi's side a little bit in the A-Main.
He was.
I've never seen a car when you're at the lead or towards the front, you're battling for the lead, you spin, complete 360 in a car that needs to be push started, mind you, get it going again and did not lose a single spot. Never seen that before. And I've been loosely following dirt track racing 35-ish years and never seen that and was shocked to see it. And not only that, it was 3 laps later, he collides into, I can't even remember who it was. Now, we talked about this on the TikTok Live earlier. People know this. I am not a technical person. That car sounded like something was broke.
It sounded like a Hornet.
It sounded like a Hornet. And 360s are not supposed to sound like
A Hornet.
a Hornet. And it sounded like a Hornet. And you could tell he was struggling keeping that thing to the front. But despite all that, all the setbacks, all the hard racing, Jason Sowald once again stepped up. He ended up winning. Mr. Trey Starks, your guy, finished second.
He was like 6th position to start with.
The man in black himself and Mr. Levi Hilliard, congratulations. Levi finished second, right?
Levi finished second.
Yeah, Trey was third. Trey was a podium. Levi was second. Levi had to have been stoked, but my prediction was what?
If Levi finished in the top 5, he would make podium. Or going into the race.
And that happened. So Levi should consult me before every race that he is in at Skagit Speedway, and I will not charge a consulting fee. But he won't do that because he's Levi and doesn't need my assistance at all. But we're gonna get into now. That is racing action. We're gonna get into more interesting stuff.
We will.
What are we gonna get into next? Well, what are we gonna talk about next, Stacy?
Did we cover all of our Austin interviews, or do we have the one after that we need to introduce?
I thought I already did that. Austin winning the championship, I'm pretty sure I did that.
Okay.
And if
not,
I haven't, I will split the video right here and insert it here, but I'm pretty sure I already did that. I'm pretty confident I did it.
okay.
TikTok might tell us, but I'm pretty. Do you want to stop it and start it?
Yeah, let's.
Are we going again?
Yes.
Okay, for the sake of the Austin interview, that was a pause for that, just in case, to make a clean little break. But what are we getting into next?
Pole positions.
Pole position. And what are we pole positioning?
We picked some Hornets for color scheme and some 360s for color schemes.
Yes.
And if there's suggestions on what we could rank in the future, let us know. We're kind of stuck on
if somebody
colors.
gets a hold of this, if we come to a certain point and somebody gets a hold of this book, they could write a whole expose on an expose.
I don't know if you have enough pages to make it the rest of the season.
I do not. Wow, there's a lot of juice in this. This is some Minute Maid action right here.
Okay.
All right, so we're doing top 10 sprint car paint schemes. Top 10 or 5? 5.
5.
Top 5. And we are doing top 5 Hornies.
Sure.
We're doing top 5 Hornies. I just like saying it. It's fun. Brings a smile to my face. All right.
Which one are we starting with?
Let's go with Hornies first.
Hornets. Okay.
Give me your 5.
I have the number 8, the pickle,
Yep.
black and kind of a greenish color.
And that green was definitely pickle green.
It was definitely pickle green.
Pickle green.
I had the AK-47
Was what number?
was Austin's.
I know, but what number on your list?
4.
Oof. I'm sorry, Austin. I apologize
Am I
for
giving
her.
you my whole list at
Might as
once?
well. You
Okay.
started it, so go ahead, go with that.
Okay.
Austin, I apologize.
So my 4th one
I'm gonna put a D-Rog in her file. So
was Austin's white, and the attention to detail in his spray paint white zip ties to stitch his bumper back together.
I don't hate that, right?
No.
But he deserves to be higher on that list.
Okay,
but whatever. We'll put a
My
little thing in your
third
personnel
one
file.
down here was the 215, the car driven by Jason, owned by John
John
Johnson.
Johnson, yeah.
The Pet Patrol.
Pet Patrol or Paw Patrol?
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. You said Pet Patrol.
That's what
but
I
Paw
actually
Patrol.
wrote in my notes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
Creativity. I know it's Jason's son.
Johnson.
John's son. Sorry.
Stacey has a hard time with the English language.
I know.
I don't know if anybody knows that. She's a teacher too, by the way.
So John's son designed the car.
Yeah. Obviously not knowing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because we were crossing Jason's path the entire 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, but that is definitely, because we're a Disney family, right?
Yeah.
That's your kind of heartstrings. Reminds me of Vacation.
The animation part of it.
Correct. So, yeah, I mean, that car's always been kind of on our radar, but
Yeah.
even more so now,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Okay,
yeah.
what is your 5 through 3?
So my bottom 2 are the Hornet trucks.
Okay.
I was talking earlier about the Craftsman Truck Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love the trucks. And the trucks look fast. They are not, but they look fast. And one of them has NASCAR-esque tires that look fast, but they are not fast.
No.
They are slow.
Why do you... The idea is to win.
Is it though?
I would think so.
Is it though? My idea wouldn't be to win. If I wasn't Austin in the AK-47, White Lightning,
Okay.
I have to make this entertaining. I don't think people want to see activity. They just want to see a fat dude talking about, like, really? So, other than Austin in the AK-47 White Lightning, is it really?
Would want, if you're going to spend the time and the money and the energy to do a car.
But look at this, though. 2 trucks, slowest on the track. I mean, they are god-awfully slow.
Mm-hmm.
And what am I doing right now?
You're talking about them.
Exactly.
So they didn't. They
Mission
don't
accomplished.
make podium, but they make Jimmy's heart.
You darn Skippy, you person, you. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So the trucks.
Okay. Are your bottom 2?
Bottom 2. The pickle mobile
Okay.
is right above the pickup trucks. Okay, that's weird. I should have my metas on right now recording that.
Okay. What is your number 2?
I don't think you're prepared for my number 2.
I'm just definitely not prepared for it.
My number 2 is...
This is what happens when it hits 11 o'clock. We're off
No,
the rails.
I honestly, the number 2 was the Paw Patrol for
Okay.
me. Because of the Disney connection. I love that car. Yeah, so Paw Patrol was number 2 for me.
Okay. My number 2 is Throttle Therapy. It is red and yellow.
If you tell me it was one of the trucks that are named Throttle Therapy, we got to rename that because there was no Throttle Therapy happening there.
No.
Okay.
So
Thank
Throttle
goodness.
Therapy, red and yellow. I think the car number was 33.
Okay.
It had a name. They named the car. And I'm going to guess, and I'm going to go out on a complete limb, that either... Oh, no, I'm not going to go out on a limb. Never mind. I'm going to back myself back up onto the...
Are you afraid that limb is going to snap right off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So my first...
We don't have a lot of tape for you to...
I know. My first one is Laffy Taffy. It is the lime green and pinkish purple car.
Sorry, Austin. Yeah,
And-
that's an awful number 1, but that's okay. We'll let it slide this
My
time.
top 2 had names.
You're a novice. So, you know what? You know what my number 1 is?
The White Lightning. Because you named it that.
The AK-47, the White Lightning. So, cleanest car on the track. At standstill and going 20 miles an hour around that oval. Because that's about the speed, right? It is the cleanest looking car. It is the most together looking car. It's the one car that doesn't look like when he's going into the corner that both front tires are about to come exploding off the car.
And his bumper's not hanging as he's leaving the track.
And there was somebody that was glorified in that magic. Yes. All right. So let's get into the sprints.
Okay.
Top 10 scheme. The sprints. Can you say 360 in Spanish? Of course not.
No, I have 5.
I have 6.
Okay, so you start with your 6.
I have 2 for the number 5.
Okay.
I have the number 7 pink and black from Chico, California. No, I don't even know. They're
It is California.
California, okay. Chico I made up, but I'm just trying to be entertaining. But, and I hate to do this. Oh, it's painful. God, it hurts so good. The number 18, the blue and orange. Whose car is that?
Jason Sowell.
Damn it. As they used to say when I was in high school, damn it, Jim. Okay. That is my 2 get tied for the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah.
My 5th is a maroon and white number 8.
Awful. That's an awful choice.
Reminds me of my college colors.
Oh. Mr. Smith. The number 17. Oh, it is black and white. It hurts so good.
That's my number 4 as well.
Oh, it hurts so good.
It's just clean and classic.
Cam Smith. Yeah. It is a great car. Has that comic book essence. Love it.
I
Good
can
job.
see that.
Good job, Cam. Yes, on my number 4 for the 360 show. We're going to argue about number 3.
We are.
Go ahead.
My number 3.
Liar. Sorry.
Well, that was my eardrums. Is red, black, and white, driven by Colcroft out of California.
The number 29.
29.
Mine is the very much look-alike Bobby Burrow, the red and white number 51. That is my number 3. 5-1, 51. I'm doing my 3 and 2 are throwbacks to earlier years.
Makes sense
Makes
for you.
me feel younger. Yeah.
'Cause you're old.
Makes me feel like I'm 48 all over again.
Okay. My number 2 is an
Yep.
orange and gray, and it is a 5D car driven by Dusty Miller.
Destry.
Destry Miller.
Stacy's a teacher. She has a hard time with names.
I was going for it.
She can't pronounce Fred very well. Go ahead. Say it.
It's your turn.
Okay. See, I told you. My number 2 was the number 92. The Fred. I don't think it's a replica. It's not a lookalike. Is it a lookalike? It was a legit 360 race car, but it was painted in the traditional. The number 92 belonging to Fred Brownfield. I believe it was his grandson racing that car. Ish. But it definitely had that old school flavor. I love that. So that was my number 2.
Okay. My top color scheme for the 360s was the number 7. It is that bright neon pink. Kind of some blue in there,
Yeah.
driven by Seth Stanley
It's a great car.
from Snow Racing out of California.
Yeah, it's a great car.
And their
Love the
trailer
scheme.
matches.
And Stacy was obsessed with the racing trailer being the same as the car. So, because it's Skagit, usually they're not painted up
They're
like
all just white.
My top 10, my number 1, and my top, well, we're doing top 5. I'm doing top 6, but to stay consistent, because I talked about this color at Deming, and I'm going to talk about it at Skagit as well. The electric orange and black, the number 10, it's such a great look to it. So that was my number 1 for the 360 Nationals. So that's going to do it with the pole position, and then we get into trackside chat next, right?
Yeah.
Just going right into it?
Let's just
Let's
roll.
just get right into it. So what was the question?
The question was, who would you want to spend an
The
afternoon
evening.
with in the pit
As it, you know,
as an invited guest?
yeah, if you were to hang out with a driver and a crew for an evening in the pits, who would it be and why? I have my 2 answers.
Okay, I'm going to let you go first.
So my first one I'm going to accomplish this Saturday. I am going to be in the pit stall of the number 71 in the topless race. Adam Halltrop's modified. We're chopping the top off, going topless for Breast Cancer Awareness Night. I have my big sexy jersey ready to go. I have no expertise other than hand his helmet to him, but he is one of my faves, and I'm going to hang out, and I'm going to check that off my bucket list. That is my sub of my original.
Okay.
You want my original?
Yes.
To be with Trey Starks and his team. I want to make Trey laugh to see if I have that capability to break his stoic man in black. I am after another dual championship mode for a minute and see him smile. That would be my goal. Make him laugh a little bit. But Trey Starks would be my other one I would love to spend an evening hanging out with in the pits. How about you?
Okay, I think This is a little harder because I'm not really like set on like, I think it'd be kind of odd.
Stacy has been around racing about 2 years, so
I definitely think it would be odd if if I go, oh, Trey, can I come hang in your trailer with you?
when you say it like that, yeah, that would be creepy.
So that just does not seem right and maybe this is why I'm having a hard time with this question and coming up with something. So I'm going to take it from a different standpoint.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to kind of get to know Macy
Oof, good one.
and Colin.
I don't hate that answer.
So to get to know them as kind of a local racers and especially as a local couple racing,
Yeah.
to get to know them better.
And they're legit racers too. It's not like these are just scrubs,
let's talk
right?
about
I
him
mean,
for
they
a
are
second.
super good.
On Friday night,
Yes.
he raced the cleanest race and stayed out of every.
He was up front, racing in top 5 and avoiding every accident, even though it was happening all around him. Yeah.
The cleanest race.
But not only that, Macy battled Robbie hard for a good 3 to 4 laps of I think it was one of the heat races, but it was one of the more interesting battles. Gave Robbie a run for his money, by the way.
Yes.
And she was winning most of those battles, so.
So I do think that kind of go in that angle.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
And then my other one and this is what I said last night when we did take one on this episode, is to hang out within Cam Smith's camp. We have
Mr. Sargent.
We have Kaysen and all those little kids. Kaysen the other day was up
You
on
wanted,
the mule.
oh, that's right. You wanted to sleep on top of his.
On the mule, using the tires as a pillow like Kaysen was doing the other day.
Yeah.
Saturday was a long day for him.
But we want to hear what your answer would be because we want to talk about it on our next episode. So send us a message. Tell us if you had an evening with a driver and a team, who would it be and why? And if you do that, we're going to feature 2 or 3 in our next episode coming up.
And when I clip this and put it on social media, and I'll clip that question, drop those answers below, and I'll just pull from there too.
Absolutely. So
Make it easy.
All right, so that is take 2 of this 360 Hornet National recap. We really appreciate everybody watching. Go out and support your local tracks, whether it be quarter midgets, micro sprints, sprints, modifieds, Hornets, street stocks, doesn't matter. You have a local track, pay some attention to it.
So we kind of started this on a different angle than normal, so I think we missed a couple of things. So let's recap really fast where we're going to be this weekend. Friday night, we're going to be out at Deming.
Deming, yes.
Have an interview getting lined up with Peyton Drake and Savannah and whoever she wants to recruit to do a interview there. So a couple interviews coming out of Deming this weekend. Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, we're going to stop by and...
Well, no, we're going to be there a little longer than just in the afternoon because we got to be... We're going to spend time with the quarter midgets. I don't know what she's talking about. We're going to be there in the morning at some point and stay until we walk over to hang out with the bigger cars. But we will be featuring the quarter midgets in an upcoming episode as well. They will be a permanent fixture the rest of this season with our Skagit episodes. So look for quarter midget part of that every time.
And then Saturday night is Sportsman's.
410s.
410s and the Topless Modifieds.
Topless Modifieds. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Race Night. All women get into the track for $5.
The grandstands.
What did I say?
Into the track.
Isn't that what... Anybody thinks they're going to pay $5 and get a pit pass is stupid. So We're not going to go there.
General
$5
admission.
into admission. All women, girls, females. $5. Breast Cancer Awareness Night. It's going to be a great night of racing. We're going to hack the tops off the modifieds. You're going to have the 305s or sportsmen's and then the 410s. Boogity, 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 as Darrell Waltrip would say. NASCAR guy.
Okay.
I'm well
You
well
are
read.
well versed.
I'm well versed. That is it. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Like I said, go out, support your local tracks. Remember, From the Stands PNW, we are a big believer in telling the story of every lap because we believe every lap does have a story and every fan and then now driver has a seat with us. So thank you very much, and we'll see everybody at our next
Thanks so much for
episode.
watching our latest creation, From the Stands PNW. So you're probably wondering who's responsible for creating this podcast. Well, that would be Jimmy and Stacy. Who is the guy in front of the microphone all the time? Well, that would be Jimmy. Who's producing our episodes? Well, that will be Jimmy and Stacy. Who am I talking to on the social media side and who's creating all that wonderful social media? Well, that would be Stacy. A special thanks goes out to Top Shelf Galaxy Productions, and of course, a special shout out to Ice by Stacy Media for all the great graphics and animations. So please like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when our latest hits the airwaves. You can find us across all social media platforms at From the Stands PNW. Once again, thank you so much for watching.